Now, that's the information that we are getting at this point in time. So that's additional information that we have, that Daesh in India already got money from the IS Khorasan. And the motive was to attack some leaders of the BJP or the RSS associates. But it's very difficult to say. That's what we are given to understand, that it was one particular individual. The attacks are mainly for optics, and in this case, it's possible that some of their sleeper cells here were also activated in India. But IS or Daesh Khorasan is active in India. That's one point. The second point, Dr. Jnanendra Barman, is that they planned it to the T. They got foreign nationals to come from different countries into India. They passed on money into Jammu and Kashmir. We already know that there are drone drops of IEDs and ammunition and RDX, etc., which is being made from across the border. So somewhere, some people were supposed to coordinate, collaborate, and meet. The hunt for the second operative is still on. But perhaps that crackdown was timely. That broke the backbone of any if ISIS operations in India right now.
Exactly. You see, as you have rightly pointed out, these modules, internal modules, they are at work. Just a few months back, there was news that in Assam, for example, this Badruddin Azmal Foundation received money from foreign groups, and those groups had alleged link with the terror groups. So we have to have strong surveillance. Badruddin Azmal, he admitted that he took money, but he said that he is not aware of those links. So we have to keep strong surveillance, and the ideology that must be deconstructed at the same time. De-radicalization, a mission de-radicalization must be taken, because so many Muslim youths, they have been radicalized by these fundamentalist groups, and these groups they start their activities with the help of some outside groups. For example, just 2 days back in Assam, two Maulanas named Jalaluddin Sheikh and Abdul Subhan, and they were working as imams in the district of Gwalpara of Assam, and they have link with Ansarullah Bangla team. Police got clear link with their link with Ansarullah Bangla team, and they were arrested on last Saturday. So these groups, these activity going on, these groups, internal groups, they are working in collaboration with the external groups, creating a really volcanic situation for us. So we have to keep strong vigilance, strong surveillance must be there. At the same time, the de-radicalization mission must be started. And many madrasas in Nalbari district of Assam, for example, Sahanur Alam, he was teaching in a madrasa, and he is the mastermind in Bardhaman Kand, Bardhaman Blast. So these things are happening. Wherever these, they are majority,
we will talk about Assam and what's happening in Morigaon, Gwalpara, etc. In detail in just a bit. That's the story, and we've got specific inputs coming through. We will get to that in just a bit. But however, on the Daesh Khorasan, final comment, Pathikrit, before we move on, is the fact that these details show that the Daesh are turning their attention towards India. Now they believe that their theater of play or action is India, and there are certain narratives which they are able to stitch.
Countries in the world which has not been Islamized. Secondly, if you look at it, ISIS is today's Al-Qaeda. So if you look at the ideological differences between different terror organizations, these differences are very superficial. At core, the ideologies remain completely the same. So there are many people who may have been having allegiance to Al-Qaeda and other organizations in the past, may now have shifted to ISKP or ISIS, and they are doing the same thing which they have done in the past. The difference being they are getting far more global support in terms of what is happening, funding from Middle East. On the side of, why the Americans and the Russians and Indians are converging in terms of sharing of, inputs. The reason being that the world today requires stability. India is a country which is one of the last linkages between the West and Russia in terms of stability, and stability of India is very profound for the global stability of economy as well. Right. So even the Americans and the Russians don't want anything to happen. Remember, I think if I understand, one of their target was also one of the top leaders of the country, and that is where we have to be very, very cautious. So I think that also shows that India's importance in the world. It's for the first time these global sharing of intelligence inputs keep on happening in spite of differences otherwise. And I think we need to work a little more in terms of.
True. Pathikrit Payne and Dr. Jnanendra Barman, just stay on with us. We're going to take a very short break here on The Nation at 5. When we come back, the spotlight shifts towards Assam, the Madrasa of Terror in Moregaon. There is far much more to it. And now, there is now going to be an SOP in place, ladies and gentlemen, on those who are coming into mosques and madrasas to teach as imams. What's brought that about? The details when we come back.